Frank, it's perfect timing. Always a pleasure to have you on the broadcast.
Pleasure to be here.
You look sharp as always. I always turn around and say to you. We were just unraveling.
Hold on a minute. Can we just talk about that promo?
Yeah,
Frank?
that's exactly what we wanted to get into.
I've never seen anything like it.
I'm not giving up the day job.
No, I thought you were all right.
Frank, you got a second career coming, haven't you?
Yeah, but I can always play an old geezer in some snuff movie.
But look, when you think about it, you take everything into perspective. Roberto Duran being here in terms of unveiling the undisputed belt, just the quality of fighters that you turn around and see top of the bill to the bottom of the bill. Where do we start, Frank, is the better question.
Well, I think you start by you have to click your fingers and wake up. And am I in a boxing dream here? I mean, or a boxing fantasy dream? You know, they're just competitive fights. Every fight on there is a competitive fight. 50-50 all the way through, from the top to the bottom. 4 belts on the line with the 2 light heavyweights. That in itself is a momentous fight and occasion. And then you come down and you see. Sorry.
I know it's almost.
You come down and you see. You come down and then you see what we're putting together between our 2 teams, and we are behind the scenes. We're competitive to the public, but behind the scenes, we both equally feel we want to win this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not nonsense. We want to win it, and that's how it is. And it's such a competitive card. It's a great card.
This is the only time I'm ever going to pass on instructions to either of you, just because of how noisy it is in here. The fans at home want to make sure you hear you, so you're right up to the top. Eddie, first of all, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, I gave the compliment to Frank about how sharp he looked. Your acting skills aren't too bad yourself.
Listen, I go casual these days.
Yeah,
for the midlife
I was
crisis.
surprised.
That happens when you reach your mid-40s. But he's always looking so smart. I thought this morning, no, the whistle's coming on. So, no, it deserves it, this card. I mean, I know it's obviously Matchroom v Queensberry, but look at the matchups beneath Dimitri Bivol against Artur Beterbiev. You have got 6 pure 50-50 matchups. I know you can argue 60-40 either way, but basically, what a night of boxing. I mean, it's the best card we've ever seen. Day of Reckoning was great.
It was incredible.
But this has just got so much narrative, so much storyline. You've got Wilder and Zhang fighting it out for their careers. I mean, Dubois-Hrgovic is brilliant. I love Hamza Shiraz against Ammo Williams. I know, these guys are really hot on Hamza. Nick Ford against Ray Ford against Nick Ball. Best featherweight in the world, in my opinion. Craig Richards against Willie Hutchinson.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pure 50-50 domestic matchup as well. So I just think it's an amazing card. Just shows you what you can do. I mean, I do think the rivalry's been good over the years because we've both tried our cojones off. But now, when we're sitting in the room and we're making matchups, this could have been 15 v 15, not 5 till 5, and hopefully it's the first of many.
It's cliche, isn't it, to say 50, but really this is 50-50 fights. It really is. Is there a fight that, I'll put it to both of you, which fight in particular are you looking forward to?
I mean, for me,
taking the big one out of the scene.
For me, I mean, I think our biggest underdog on the card, if you like, I mean, I'm talking about marginal underdog, is Ammo Williams, because I think Hamza Shiraz, a great fighter. Don't forget as well the WBC talking about that being a final eliminator for a shot at a world championship for the winner. You can't look past Wilder Zhang, 2 massive punchers. I have to say, I'm really looking forward to Craig Richards against Willie Hutchinson. I know it's probably the first of the fights, but as a domestic sort of British European light heavyweight matchup, it's brilliant. And again, Nick Ball should be world champion. Ray Ford's the best 126 pounder in the world, in my opinion. That's going to be a brilliant fight.
We were just talking about up here, we're really unlucky to have that not as a unification fight sitting there on the bill. I want to find out from both of you, what was your thought process in terms of the captain decision? Frank, we'll go to you first. What did you think in terms of your selection? What was it behind?
What I did, first of all, he's a snappy dresser. I mean, he's a dude. But look, he's been with us from day one. He's been, everything that's been asked of him, he's done. He's done it in style. He's beat rated fighters, and he's done it, in brilliant style. And he deserves it. He's a leader, and he deserves to be a leader. I could have picked any of the guys, same as Eddie. We could have picked any of them, but I feel he's inspirational, and it was a toss-up. But it's him at the end of the day, leading a very strong and a good team, and all the fights. It's very difficult. You say which fight do you want to see. I want to see them all because they're good quality matches. More importantly, with quality fighters in them. And there's a lot on the line. Eddie's absolutely right what he says about Deontay and Zhang. The loser's really got a problem. So you want to see at the big table, you got to win the fight. That is it goes without saying. Daniel Dubois, You know, he keeps talking about when he was sparring with him. He was 17 when he sparred with him, which is he couldn't even turn professional then.
Of course.
But he's a good fighter, Hrgovic. Got a lot of respect for him, and who knows, it might even get upgraded to an even bigger fight. We'll see what happens. But for Daniel, he can't afford to lose.
I think Daniel Dubois, after his last fight against Miller, I think he will improve as a fighter because he had to bite down the gum shield and go through a bit of
exactly
adversity.
What he had to do.
I think it improves him as a fighter. You just saying about how you picked your captain and he's a leader and all that. Is there something in the back of your head saying 4 points for a knockout? He's the best chance of knocking their guy out.
No, I think we're going to win all 5 fights by knockout.
I actually agree with Frank in some respect. I don't think there is a chance all fights could end inside a distance.
We do agree on that.
I think there's a strong possibility. And Eddie, I want to know your thought process.
Yeah,
I don't think many people would have turned around
the
and put
most
you and
senior
Deontay
member.
Wilder
Listen, I
together.
mean, when His Excellency said the heavyweight division, I'm thinking about my stable. And I'm thinking, Justice Honey's not quite ready. I said, can we go and sign someone? And he said, no. For my wild card pick, you can go and sign anyone for the night. Now, I thought to myself, Deontay Wilder literally cannot stand me. But if somehow we can have a sensible conversation where
Love
one
and unity.
night only
Love and
I'm
unity.
representing Deontay
Frank
Wilder.
didn't stand you a year ago.
Yeah, I know,
what
true.
I mean?
There's hope for us all. Probably you couldn't a couple of years ago.
No,
It's been up and down, Carl.
Form an orderly clue.
This is actually a common trend for everything. So basically, no one can stand me.
That's not true.
So,
You're
but what
right,
it
mate.
was, I wanted Wilder because one, I thought, what a great addition to the card, and two, I think bouncing back from the defeat. I mean, that must have hurt so much, that Parker defeat. He lost the chance to fight Anthony Joshua in a blockbuster fight for a lot of money. And I just saw him today. I didn't make my pick till about 20 minutes before the presser, and I had a good chat with Deontay today, like half an hour in a hotel, just trying to reignite the fire. And I saw it in his eyes. He's got it. He wants to do damage in this fight, and I just wanted. He is the senior member of our team.
Yep.
And I just wanted him to make him feel like he's the man.
I think they're sensible picks for
I think they're
the
really good
captain for
picks.
both. I mean, we were asked without knowing, and I picked that you were going to pick Wilder and you were going to pick Hamza. So I think that they're really sensible picks for captains.
Yeah, I do think they're definitely sensible picks. Eddie, I'll come to you one more time because I just want to know in terms of taking this all in. I've seen how close your relationship is now, away from the cameras. It's genuine. I genuinely think there's an element of respect. There's always been an element of respect and competitiveness. But when does it switch for you guys? This is when I want to know, because I always ask the fighters when it switches. When are the promoters competitive?
We will sit down on the night and we will be screaming and shouting. It's what we do. It's what we love. You got to watch us at ringside at any fight. Everyone knows I jump in the ring too early. He's up going mental, screaming at the. I mean, but it's the passion that we have for the sport and for our guys. We want them to achieve. We want them to change their lives. We want them to win. And people talk about the one thing they say is, His Excellency's brought these guys together through money. Of course, we're running a business, but I promise you, when we sit in that room and we talk about these upcoming cards and we talk about these nights, the smile on our faces for two people that genuinely love the sport of boxing, it's given me a little bit of a new lease of life in the sport.
Yeah.
Because for 15 years, what's this? It's IFL and Frank said this, and actually you look at it, he didn't quite say it like that, but you don't ever look at it like that. He says that, one of our fighters has gone to him, one of his fighters has gone to, and it's like, it is draining, but you don't give up. Because we're winners and we're just desperate to win. So you never give up. And we would have probably gone on for another 20 years, not standing each other, hating each other, miserable, draining. And actually, maybe we're more pleasant people now.
I'm telling you.
I don't know.
I can see a Christmas dinner. I'm telling you, I'm upgrading it.
I'm upgrading it.
No,
don't get carried away.
I'm upgrading it. Watch me. I call
the
it first.
promo and stuff like that. It's so good for
unbelievable.
boxing.
I've never seen anything like it.
We're just hating on Ben Shalom now.
But is this going to be is it going to be an ongoing thing? Hopefully.
Definitely.
I mean, as a boxing fan, it's good for boxing. It's amazing for boxing.
It's a great concept. He's going to want revenge after we win this one, so of course we're going to keep doing it. This is it is brilliant. I mean, I've got to tell you something. You sort of wake up, click your fingers and wake up and think, bloody hell, I want to watch this. I'm a fan. That's what I am. I start when I was a kid. I was a nutty boxing fan. I had relations who boxed for a living, professional fighters. And I can't believe what's happening now. I really can't. And it's been good working with Eddie and say how it is. And we found it difficult at the moment doing this stare off or face off up there we had to do. It's all quiet. All that side of it's all amusing and funny. But it's quite pleasant to sit down. We've had some really good talks about the future and things that can happen, and I think there's going to be some great news down the line, some really good news, and this is exciting times for British boxing, world boxing, for everybody involved in the sport, and more importantly for the people who watch it, the people who buy, who pay for it, pay for these fights to make, to see them. They're going to get great value for money.
There's a question that I think a lot of the boxing public would like to know. Are you going to work together in the UK as well, or is it only when the Saudis get involved?
Yeah, there'll be an announcement soon. We will be, and we're looking forward to it.
Great.
It's so obvious. I mean, that's the mad thing about it. It's only when you do it you go.
Yeah. And you think,
Of course
why
it's
didn't
not
we,
done
why
this
didn't we
year,
do
is
it?
it?
Yeah,
Well, what I
exactly.
would say to you both is credit to you both. We said it on the broadcast and we'll say it to you both now. Best two promoters in the world and coming together and making something that's really, really special. So thank you very much, both of you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
lads.
Cheers.